Hey, good morning, all. Today we have Praveen, who had been in security for quite a long. Praveen, if you can tell me about your current role and your industry experience in cybersecurity, and thanks for coming, taking time to talk to us.
Sure, sure. Thank you for the opportunity. Glad to be here. So for the security, or I would say about my background, I am currently CEO and co-founder at Unizo. Unizo is a fairly early stage startup. I wear all different types of hats, being an early stage startup. But at the core of it, it's driving the vision, strategy, and growth for the company. And a key part of that is to ensure whatever we do is informed by the market demands and what customers want. I oversee product dev. I help with different engineering aspects, and then also help with the fundraising. Now, a little bit about my background. I spent about, I would say, more than 2 decades in the industry. Was lucky enough to work at fairly scaled companies where I built a number of different products and DevOps tools as well as the security. And those years and that experience really gave me the insights into the industry, understood what customers are looking for or what challenges they face. And Unizo essentially stemmed from there. So a bit about Unizo. At Unizo, we are on a mission to eliminate friction from the integrations for specifically for security and the DevOps systems. If I can go back to the problem essentially stems from the reason that if you look at any enterprise today, they have hundreds of different tools. Now, to really deliver value, if they're bringing a new tool, that tool needs to stitch across and it needs to work with the rest of the ecosystem. Now, that puts a huge problem. It becomes a huge problem for the new software providers because now they need to integrate with all of these tools. And I've seen it firsthand how it takes lots of time to build all these integrations. It takes engineering teams, which is a recurring expense, and it stifles growth because you're not able to go and sell to enterprises who have these tools and you don't have these integrations. So that's the key, I would say, goal for Unizo to bring in the turnkey integrations that are seamless and that can scale as softwares, go with their GTM. So in a sense, if I can say, we want to be the operating system for integrations when it comes to security and DevOps products.
Got it. Thanks, Praveen. Thanks for the description of the current role and experience. Sticking to what we are, as you see, right? So you have been in the industry for like 2 decades, and you have seen how the industry evolved day to day and how it is evolving right now for last couple of years, which is like Gen AI. Gen AI is like coming like a big thing that in the industry right now, shaking the world all in good terms, right? Taking the productivity up, everything. So, what do you think about this? Whatever shake has been there in last couple of years on with Gen AI, do you think this is like the next big revolution, or this like can be like a one of things that come with a spike and it might just go away?
Yeah, I think it's a question that's on everyone's mind for different reasons. Either companies are looking at, using it as an competitive advantage, or they're seeing it as a threat. And even if you look at the workforce, like how do you stay relevant for next gen, especially with the Gen AI? So I would say Gen AI is here. It's not like too far out in future. It's already here, and it's changing the world as we see it. You may have heard how it's, I was reading a case study about healthcare, how it's helping accelerate drug development because at the pace it's able to sift through all of this data and and then detect the patterns and make the decisions. That's really accelerating the whole process, which used to take at times, more than a decade. We've seen that same with the coding, with the Copilot and a number of different tools, how it's able to generate pretty good usable tool. So I would say, is it revolutionary? Absolutely. But Is it going to change and it's going to come into everything? That's yet to be seen. So we need to, I think the one key thing is that it's fairly use case driven. So we need to see that, how the Gen AI products are able to bring Gen AI tech and is able to integrate into the enterprise processes and to really make it usable.
Totally. So as you see, right, internet came and then security just followed it up. So what are you seeing in the industry, because majorly on the development side, what are the significant security threats that you are seeing with the adoption of Gen AI that it's bringing to the table?
Yeah, I think that's an interesting point. And I was thinking in your last question, like Gen AI is probably, in my view, I would say it's probably the most significant advancement since launch of internet. And with internet, as you said, there are a number of security issues came. So Gen AI bring its own version of different internet challenges. I mean, sorry, not internet, the security challenges. The one big one that comes to mind is privacy. Uh, the whole Gen AI, it uses a lot of data. It gets trained on that. But how it uses that data internally, how it stores, how it processes, that's still not clear. So most of these systems are a black box. And so data privacy is a bit of concern. And the first reaction from most of the enterprises is that stop using GI. Their networks really stopped it. That's not the way. I think we need to figure out ways, how do we understand Gen AI better, and then how we are able to bring guardrails that the data privacy is there. The second thing that comes to mind, I would say, is the misinformation. We all are aware of how people have been able to generate deep fakes, and it's able to impact the outcome of fairly major things in terms of the world events. So that's one thing. Like, how do you prevent that? How do you use it safely and not be impacting in that way? So in a sense, how can we use AI safely? The other key part I would say is the visibility. We don't really know how it works inside. And then it really operates very fast. So now, given this, if let's say the bad actors, if the hackers are able to use it, it's not just a good weapon with us. Now they also have a really powerful weapon. They're able to attack, and they are able to operate at a much faster rate. They're able to crack passwords much faster. They are able to attack your systems at an unprecedented speed. So the security systems that are built for today, they can't really keep up. So I think those are some of the key challenges that as an industry and as the security experts, we need to pay attention to and we need to address.
Got it. So as you see, right, internet came, security just followed it, and it's going like that, right? Internet, we keep seeing evolutions like endpoints coming, then cloud coming, and network coming, and all the security just creeping in, following network security, endpoint security, cloud security, and now Gen AI is coming. So whatever the security solutions we already have built up, because anyway, Gen AI tools will be like either sitting on endpoints or cloud or network, wherever they place. Do you think that the existing security solutions will be enough to tackle the Gen AI privacy issues or the risks that is bringing to the table, or we need something much more than what is not there right now?
Yeah, I think that's an interesting question. So much innovation has gone into this, and right now, if you look at the security industry, they're actively thinking about that. New solutions are coming up. So it's not black and white. There are a number of tools that are still effective, but they need to evolve much more than what they're able to do now. A simple example would be at the rate Gen AI is able to attack, and at the rate it's able to learn and then react. The traditional systems, they can't really keep up with that. So they themselves will have to evolve, and I think the only way I see that happening is that that now the security tools also need to start to embed Gen AI tech into that. So you can react at the same speed, and it can be proactive. It can see what's happening, and it can react at the same speed. The another thing I would say is deep fakes are really convincing these days. I'm sure you may have seen some here and there. It's really hard to understand what's real, what's not. So if you go to the traditional systems, you can't really figure out, what's real, what's not. And I think the last thing I would say is at the core of that is data. So if you look at the traditional systems, they were designed to protect access of data. That it factors into who is accessing, how much is accessing, and then it goes at the granular details like what access to allow, when to allow, and all those different aspects. But Gen AI, it number one, it needs lots of data, and number two is these systems don't know that in what ways it uses. So it can't really protect data while allowing Gen AI to function effectively. So the data protection has to evolve, and it needs to evolve significantly.
Got it. So, as you see, right? So, as you said, data has been there at the core of this place or system where it is like getting attacked by people, right? Or by hackers and all. And with existing security solutions already been in the picture, like endpoint, cloud, and network and all, what are the key challenges, what you think, that are there, which are hindering in the in the integrating the Gen AI solutions or Gen AI security solutions with the older ones, the traditional ones? Means what evolvement or what is the blocking point there? Why we need the new solutions that are coming? Even let's say Unizo is coming with something new in terms of this, right? So what is there? Why? What is the hindrance that you see that is leading to startups like Unizo or Swift Security coming into picture? Uh,
Right. So I'll start with data. We were already talking a little bit about that. So Gen AI needs a lot of data to work effectively. But we never really know what's happening inside, how it is storing, how it is processing. So, and the natural reaction, as I hinted earlier, for the enterprises, stop, let's figure that out, and then we're going to start using. So I think that's a big hindrance in terms of adoption of Gen AI. And so, 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 so the newer tools using Gen AI, they need to make it much more visible. Uh, so companies can, or the security tools and the enterprises, they can devise processes and the techniques to protect the data and also understand. And that goes to trust part. If you're able to see it, that how it is processing, how is it working, how is it making decisions, then you're able to gain trust. And that's a key thing for the security expert, your typical CISO staff. They need to know how a process is working and securing the systems and data. The third, I would say, and it's a big one, is integrations. Is if you look at the existing security tools, they already integrate with a large number of tools, your logging systems, your threat detection systems, your intrusion prevention systems. It looks at, so the list just goes on. But now with Gen AI, the security becomes much more automated. With it's not only giving you just the information. Gen AI brings the ability that, especially with the reasoning abilities, that it can make decisions, and it can learn from them, and it can take actions. So all three of these things, as you think of, they need lots of integration, so much more than we have at this point of time. Now, you can really make it worse by every company trying to stitch all these tools into your systems and processes, and that's likely to create more misconfigurations, more blind spots, and eventually the security issues. So think of this world that every enterprise have so many different ways, or at least across the enterprises, so many different ways. All of these systems are stitched, and that's really a heaven for the attackers or the hackers. So we need a consistent and transparent way how integrations are done for the AI systems. And so you have a single place that you're able to go, or at least a single way that you're able to go and look at, understand, and fix things if you need to. And I think that's where we at Unizo really see it as a big opportunity that along with a big problem that we are going to solve. And I think that's what we're looking at.
Got it. What strategies do you recommend for the organizations to stay ahead of these adversarial AI attacks?
Oh, that's an interesting one. It's a multi-fold thing, I would say. The first thing is be proactive. Like the example I was sharing that the Gen AI came and people in your developers and employees, they want to use chat GPTs of the world or the co-pilots. The immediate response was stop access because you don't know what's going. So I think it's important to be proactive. And that means a number of things. That means understanding AI. So educating staff in terms of how AI works, that's number one. Then coming up with the new processes, new tools. It's like in a whole new traffic system that you know how to use AI safely and you're able to teach employees for that. So I think that's being proactive is a really, really important thing. Then I would say the next thing that really comes to mind is uh, is bring in practices so that you protect your data. And that's really important because it's not just that AI needs data, it's also an attack vector for the attackers. If if they're able to manipulate the data, then they can manufacture outcomes from AI. And so I'll relate it with your autoimmune disease. That AI that you are bringing in to protect yourself, it can start to attack yourself, attack the same thing that it was trying to protect. So I would say the data again needs to be at the core of the strategy. That data is protected, and then I would say the testing is another really, really important thing that you're able to do the testing, you're able to do the red team exercise ahead of time. So essentially you're thinking like attackers. And then you're using Gen AI to fight Gen AI. So I think these are some of the key things that will be really important going forward.
Got it. And as you mentioned, right, you have founded a company, started a company called Unizo. So, and Unizo, as you said, it's like an intersection of DevOps and security. How is Unizo using Gen AI for these integrations, and what impact that you think it you can bring to cybersecurity as well as DevOps platforms?
Yeah, I would say there are two or three different angles where we are involved in or help advance Gen AI. So the obvious number one is that we are using Gen AI for our own productivity with the coding in terms of building what we are trying to build. That's one. Number two, I would say is we are making it easy for security and DevOps systems to access Gen AI. So what Unizo does is that we are offering unified APIs and an embedded integration platform where these tools and platforms in the DevOps and security space, they're able to access. So instead of going and building integrations one by one, you just connect to Unizo and it opens up the whole ecosystem of different tools and different platforms. So one of the categories we offer is Gen AI. So using that, these tools will easily be able to work with the Gen AI tools and platforms. And I would say last and definitely not the least is the part that I touched upon a little bit earlier in the question, where there is this huge risk of that each company, each tool, starting to stitch into the business processes or integrations with the tools in their own ways. And that creates a huge opportunity for hackers to look at the misconfigurations, look at the inconsistencies, and find the blind spots, and then hack into that. So with Unizo, we provide a single, consistent way that these tools and platforms are able to integrate with the rest of the tool ecosystem of the enterprise, and all of the configurations from access control to your integration configurations, etc. It's at one place. So I think that's what I feel is probably the most impactful how we are gonna advance adoption of Gen AI.
That's great. Great to hear that. The last question: what advice would you give to the cybersecurity startups focusing on Gen AI security? So as you see, you come from a very extensive background on working with Fortune 500 companies, leading big teams there on in terms of the development as well as security. So what do you think with this Gen AI coming into picture with Gen AI security? What should the cybersecurity companies like Swift Security and other companies in this space should focus on to develop a core moat or differentiations among from others?
Yeah, I think I've been seeing in the startup ecosystem, I've been talking to a number of different founders. So, and looking at, there are some really, really brilliant ideas. And at times I look at some ideas as like, so why are you doing it? So I'll start with this thing. Let's start with the problem first. Uh, Gen AI is a very, very powerful tool. But it's effective when it's applied uh, onto specific defined problems, right? Now, I don't mean to take away the iPhone moment. Time to time, you would have some things that enterprises or people are not able to visualize, and then you could really change the way how things are done. But I would say in the most of the cases, it's much more effective if you start with a problem. So I think that's going to be really, really important thing. Number two is make it easy. Uh, Startups or the new products that are going to win are the ones that make it easy for security expert to use those tools and then start to secure the enterprises and systems. We have talked about data quite a bit. Data is I would say is going to be at the core of it. Not just how it is stored, also how it is shared, is different data pipelines. I think they will be the key focus area for the attackers. They want to attack in, so they can manufacture different outcomes. So it's really important that the new products and new products and tools, they're focused on securing the data at the core. Another one I would say is the integration, and integration not just because of the parts that I just mentioned. It's also if your tool, it does really good what it does, but if it's not working with the rest of the ecosystem, then it's going to become a problem. It's not going to be as much effective. It's not going to be very quickly to adopt. So I think that's going to be a very, very important thing. And the last is, I would say, bring in the visibility. If so, Gen AI, I think so. One of the key hindrances today is that it's a black box. So if your users or the security experts and enterprises, if they're able to see what's happening, how it's making decisions, they're more likely to trust it and they're more likely to use it. So I think these will be some of the key things that I'll highlight.
Cool. Thanks a lot, Praveen. Thank you. Thanks for your time today. It was really fun talking to you and understanding different aspects of Gen AI security, and what Unizo does also. Thank you. Thanks. Really appreciate you spending time with us.
Okay, so much. Have a good one.